Hello, everyone. Welcome to our lovely live stream. I'm actually going to immediately kick it over to Skad for our starting range as I do some additional stuff because apparently I didn't fix some of our things. Don't worry, it'll get there.
Oh, well, I guess I'll start it. So, quick note, next week, first Tuesday of the month. So there's that, but yeah, let's get started. Previously on Tales from the Actually, you know what? I've got the keys tonight to the tavern. So let's crack open a new barrel and pour you a short draft. And let us tell you a different story tonight. A story from another land, another party, and a whole new set of adventures. Far across the multiverse, in an often remembered, forgotten land, on a well-traveled coastline, near the namesake of the 2023 Game of the Year winner, stands a grand edifice to learning. On a small rocky peninsula, this citadel holds towers upon towers of books. That's right, tavern goers, we're getting extra nerdy tonight. Now, while you may be thinking, how is a castle of dusty old books that interesting? It would do well to remind yourself this is no mere castle. This is the greatest repository of knowledge known on the continent of Faerun. It puts the Library of Alexandria to absolute shame. And this one's even fireproof. For you see, tavern goer, this is a warehouse of wisdom, a bastion of bibliophiles, a cathedral of contemplation, an area of erudition, a stronghold of study. This is Candlekeep. This complex is known the realm over, and travelers, collectors, researchers, and even the occasional adventurer come to pay the price of admission, a book, tome, or other work of writing not currently found in the Keep's current collection, in hopes of finding the answers to their many and varied questions. Entry to the Keep does not grant entry to the stacks, however. Only the avowed are allowed access past the emerald door into the inner ward, where all the books are kept. Visitors, known as seekers, remain in the outer ward and rely on the assistance of the avowed adjutants to find the works they desire. Seekers cross back and forth in the court of air to the various locations made available to them, from the pillars of pedagogy and their many quiet study rooms to the house of rest for a good night's sleep. From the house of the binder to request the creation of copies of tomes in the collection to the warm fires of the hearth, the local tavern where patrons can request a good brew while they stew over their latest research. As of late, there have been various, events and goings on here at the Citadel. Different books and tomes have led a group of simple adventurers, not only throughout the outer ward, but across the region itself. As the sun rises, why don't we check in on these adventurers as they start their day? They have all agreed to meet later to discuss their plans for any further adventures. However, unbeknownst to them, adventure might be found right here, solving the next one of these Candlekeep mysteries. So we're going to go ahead and begin here. And 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do a quick roll to see who gets to describe themselves first. All right. So that is going to take us to, let me double check, to Kovak. Where can we find Kovak at this time?
Uh, uh, just double checking. I'm audible, but not in an
Yes.
entirely unpleasant way. Fantastic. I'm so glad to hear that. I was having some issues earlier. So Kovak is a blue descended chromatic dragonborn fighter who is from a family that's very, very into magic, but he's kind of the black sheep. He's a little bit more of a hands-on. He knows about magic through the lens of learning about it, so that he can be aware of what could probably kick his ass. And so he has learned magic, and he has come to study some things about certain kinds of magic, but he's actually over in the smithy right now. He's curious about um, what kinds of smiths they have at such a legendary establishment, and is trying to learn more. He's kind of a sword nerd too, so
Mm.
he's curious about what their forging techniques are like, and what their smiths are up to right
Okay,
now.
excellent. So as we glide across the court of air to where the steam and smoke and high humidity, you hear the neighing and braying of horses and other mounts. Um, some of them quite fantastical creatures. I think you see a griffin over in the corner. Make me a wisdom saving throw, please.
I will do this. My wisdom is not the best. B. I rolled a 17 plus 1, so 18.
17 plus 1. You're managing to hold it together. You've been in and out. You've been with this party working at Candlekeep for quite some time, but you haven't had the chance to really peruse the smithies, and you're holding it together, but it's kind of underwhelming because they're mostly here reshoeing horses, making sure any specific bindings. Sometimes they'll be melting down or shaping small little bits of book clasps or other
Hmm,
binding pieces for other books. But it's there's not much enchanting going on at the smithy.
not enough fun for a sword boy.
Yes. Yeah, it's the one benefit of the smithy is the heat of it does get piped throughout the complex to provide warmth
Oh,
during the winter. Yes. Okay, so as we drift away from the mild disappointment of the smithy, let's go to we travel our way across the court of air. Moma, where you at, darling?
Oh, don't worry about me, darling. I am just over sitting by the fire. Uh, I'm pretending to knit, but mostly I am just going over a drink or two, and apparently don't have any proficiencies in any tools, which is weird.
Uh, oh, yeah, that is frustration. We can say you have proficiency in knitting tools, even though that's not a listed tool. We are making it.
It would be
There's obviously
weaver's tools.
weaver's tools. Go ahead and take it. I mean, you guys are level 9. You've been at it for a while. Um,
Yeah, you'd think that I'd have something.
yeah, I mean, there's
It's a
plenty of
really good
downtime to in
it's a
the
really good
intervening time
school
to take it up.
it's a really good thing to pick up when you just want to sit around a campfire or a tavern and do
Mhm.
something with your hands and not think.
Yes, sitting by the fire. In fact, the largest fire in the outer ward and probably in all of Candlekeep. For one of the interesting discoveries of Candlekeep is there are magical wards protecting the books in a lot of ways, and one of them is any fire larger than a candle is automatically snuffed out, save for the fires of use in the smithy and here in the hearth, a tavern that is unassuming from the outside, attached to the House of Rest, the primary domicile residence for visitors, for seekers. But when you step inside, let's just say a certain doctor would be very proud of the work done here because it is much, much larger on the inside, held together by this strange contraption that floats in the middle of the room. The hearth is at times both noisy and rowdy, but also subdued. It gets the very mix of adventurers and travelers and people just trying to get a break from their day. With Moma sitting over by the hearth knitting. Describe what Moma looks like for us.
Well, she is fairly broad, sitting at around, but fairly muscular build. It's a little hard to see underneath the armor that she's normally wearing. That is also hidden by a very nice knit sweater. It was made by my son. It's got my name written on the front of it, and she has long curly hair that she actually braids up in the front to go to a ponytail that just almost explodes out the back of her head. There's a little bit of gray in there. She is a bit of an older woman. She's also at a nice petite 6'10", and looks like she could easily bench press the bed.
That's really really tall.
Yes, I know, darling. Everyone says that. And people always seem to get my family moniker right almost immediately. It's really strange, but it's perfectly fine. I am a mother. So there is that.
Just to confirm, you said 6'10", right?
6'10". With a very... Oh, I am also, again, very strong. You can actually see, like, the how strong I am in the through the musculature on my arms and all of that, through my sweater and through my armor. And I usually keep my sword tucked up inside the sheath area inside my shield. My shield is always right next to me. It's got a picture of a lion on it. My little darling girl, she wrote that down. And I just decided to put it right on my shield. Since there ain't no thing such as a refrigerator, I decided I'd hang that art up on my shield for her.
Okay. Wonderful. You're there part of some of the morning crowd as they get ready for their day of study and research. Um, as we do we end up leaving the hearth and traveling elsewhere? Hubble, where are you at?
Oh, me? Hi. My name is Hubble and I'm a berserker barbarian and I don't really know where I am. I just sort of try and keep composure with every single second that I can and try not to, do the angry thing. Uh but I'm really short. I'm like 3 feet tall and I avoid mirrors at all costs because you never know when that intrusive thought might strike. So I just sort of wander and I follow around my really good friend who happens to be a cat. And it's like really odd because it's like a cat and mouse situation, but she also helps me get dressed because, again, mirrors are a problem. But like I said, my name is Hubble and I usually keep my hair in a braid because, well, that's just easier for me. Um, that's all. I don't want to talk anymore if that's okay because I don't want to do that angry thing.
Okay. Um, so you're following your friend around?
Paulina
Uh,
is what they call her.
Paulina. Paulina, where are you?
Well, I'm currently on the roof of where the Seekers go, so the House of Healing area. And I'm sunbathing because that just sounds like a great way to start the morning. Also, I probably won't be doing that for long because I don't think Hubble followed me up the roof. So I am a tabaxi rogue, and if you look at my face is there's almost a a complete line down the center of her face, and one half has a green eye and tabby, kind of orange tabby coloring, and the other half is a black cat with a blue eye. And the tail around the campfire to foes that Pawlina has unsuccessfully stolen from because they noticed her, is that the black cat tried to steal the orange cat's brain cell and got stuck.
Excellent. Wonderful. Um, all of you have made wonderful character presentations.
I forgot to mention the fact that I do wear sunglasses that cover up my eyes very thoroughly all the time.
Even
Oh,
in the dim
fancy.
area of the hearth. Everyone, go ahead and please take a point of inspiration for all of your wonderful inspired creations. That said, Hubble, can you please make me an investigation check?
Oh, oh, sure. What am I investigating?
Just go ahead and make one for me.
I don't. Okay. Let's see. Well, that's not good. That's fine.
No. Oh no, please doing math.
It's +0, so I can do this math. It's a solid 9.
You think you're still following around Pawlina as she just wanders around the court of air. Pawlina, you're still up on the roof. You found a nice little perch up there that nobody seems to notice because there's not really a sun bathing place up there because it's normally a normal roof. But you're a rogue. You sneak around places you're not supposed to be.
It just feels nice. You just gotta. Everyone needs a little recharge.
Yeah.
Pawlina, I don't like this. What?
Pawlina just doesn't answer you. So for those watching, basically somebody is pulling a prank on her and has an illusory version of Pawlina walking around the court of air, and Hubble has yet to notice.
I'm too she's gonna pull out her what is it? She's going to take out her shatter spike.
Okay.
And she's going to just swing it around, and she's gonna like try and find this cat. Maybe she's hiding under things. I'm not
No,
gonna
you
use a
see
charge.
Pawlina.
Oh,
The
ew.
investigation check was to see if you could see through the illusion.
Oh, and I can't see through the
Yeah,
illusion.
you think it's actually Pawlina.
Okay,
She's just walking around and you're just following her.
okay, Pawlina, I don't like that we're like just going in circles.
Doesn't
We
answer
can
you.
we can stop now whenever you would like. I have little leggies. I'm only 3 feet tall.
Eventually, they get to the doorway of the hearth and walk inside.
Oh.
Do you
Okay.
follow?
Well, yeah, that's Pawlina. I don't
Cool.
like
You
going
go inside,
into.
she's gone. Someone dispelled the illusion. So you're just
Ah.
standing inside a room, the hearth.
I'm standing inside and I dart right back out looking for Pawlina.
Yep. I would say, Moma, you noticed this.
With a passive perception of 24, I'm pretty damn sure I did.
Wow.
Well, I'm going to cross
That's
out
wild.
every single secret door I have on my maps.
Just
Just, they're
Oh,
there.
did you not look at the fact of what my passives are?
I forgot.
You should probably look at
high.
my passives real quick while I
I'm
go
gonna-
and
Yeah, no, I actually have them right here.
I
I'll
quickly
get 'em
stand
pulled
up. I take the shield and I flip it onto its little spot on my back. I roll up my sleeves. There's a few tattoos on my forearms. Moma's
I
had a
think
bit of a
all
life.
us, Matt, you have to be most aware of Mama over here.
You're
And
just gonna hear Hubble yelling it outside now. Pawlina!
Moma, with that passive perception, I'll basically just give you everything then. Fine. That passive investigation is bonkers for a wisdom-based character too. But with that passive perception, you notice the illusion popping in the door and then vanishing. So you know it was an illusion. Your passive investigation knows it was an illusion too. Before it even-
Oh yeah, again, also I have a good passive insight.
Yeah, you could also tell it was an illusion because the colors were swapped. And like Hubble did not notice the entire time.
Of course, she was following up behind. I will
She's too anxious.
Chase, have I met Hubble before?
Yeah, you guys are all a party. Like you've
Oh, yeah.
been adventuring together.
So I rush outside and I yell out, I hold up my hand. Hubble, darling.
Yeah.
You looking for our friend?
Yeah.
Would you like a little
Pawlina,
bit
you
of a
would
booster
hear-
to be able to try and find him?
She's shaking because she's trying not to rage and she's starting to hum to herself.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Pawlina, you would from up on the roof have heard her calling from right outside the entrance to the hearth.
I would hope so. My passive perception is 19.
Yeah, you
Mine's-
guys have just like bonkers passive perceptions.
Except for
Mine's-
me.
Mine's awful, so you're fine.
Yeah.
So in that case, I'm going to use I have the cantrip message. And I'm
Yeah.
just going to whisper to Hubble and say, Hubble, look up. And I wave. I stick my tail up in the air and use it as flagpole and I start waving.
Yeah.
You scared me
Why did I scare you?
because you were down here, but you're also up there.
Darling, someone was playing a trick on you. Don't worry, I will. And she flexes for a second. Give them a talking to for you.
Thank you. And she's
I
gonna
guess
run
I
between
s-
your legs into the hearth.
I guess I stretch and find my way down from the roof.
Make me an acrobatics check with advantage, please.
Okie dokie.
Because I mean, you've done this
Let me
all the
see.
time.
Mm-hmm. Hey
And also
dice,
cat.
I need you to be nice to me. Maybe.
Yeah, you're a statistical anomaly. I wouldn't be surprised if you rolled 2 1s right now.
Don't speak it into existence.
Yeah, please don't.
Yeah, for those of you just tuning in, I roll very badly, no matter what dice I use or what's happening.
Facts.
Often on the wild magic table.
Although this time it's a 19 for acrobatics.
Yeah.
There you go.
I got it.
You make your way
I-
easily down. So for those of you, yes. For those of you that have seen Treasure Planet, the scene where the captain is at the top of the rigging before it takes off and does that whole jump down, does the backflip and then lands perfectly. That's what she's that's
I
what,
love that
she
scene.
does. Just like grabbing a windowsill, flipping down. Someone's opening up their window at just the wrong moment, but you dodge by it. They're like, "Hey, what the?" But yeah, you make your way to the ground, and the three of you are there. And Kovak, y'all don't know because you guys know you're going to be meeting up later to be meeting up with your avowed contact to go over potentially whatever research you guys might be doing for the day or discussing your adventures later. So you guys know you'll be meeting up later.
As soon as you're in front of me, I will start using
why I was
prestidigitation
napping.
and dusting you off nice and proper like.
Thank you, Mama.
Oh, you're very
Now,
welcome,
what is this
darling.
about? What is this about? I was down here. You know me. It's a nice sunny day. I've
Someone
been
was playing
napping.
an unfortunate prank, and don't worry, Moma will tell them what's what.
I will help you. You don't get to use my face without permission.
Either one of them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I've told
Nice
that
and close by.
to Lucas a few times, but
Moma, you
yes.
just barely notice. I rolled a natural 19 and I added a +5,
Oh,
but you still just barely notice. Um, Another random adventurer who had been casting an illusion the whole time's like, and starts trying to sneak off. You catch him just as they vanish.
I'm going to turn towards them, and right before they get out of sight, I'm going to make my voice say in a very booming tone, using my thaumaturgy. Is it a young mister?
Yeah.
Young sir?
Turns around.
And I just point towards, to the ground right in front of me as I'm starting to tap my foot.
By the way, Hubble rolled between your legs and ran straight into the hearth.
I
So
know.
she's okay.
No.
Make sure you duck around the sword sheath. It kind of sticks out.
So he approaches and he's standing there just like,
I'm going to gently place my hand on his shoulder. You need to apologize to both of my little friends for your prank, or I will kindly show you some Southern Sword Coast charm.
I would do what the lady says. Kovak comes up from behind.
as you say that, you detect a faint whiff of ammonia. And a dark patch appears right in the leg of his pants. And in the squeakiest little middle
As
of
that's
puberty
happening, I
break.
do start to prestidigitate it away.
Yep. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. And just the crackiest little like, I'm sorry. Dale, where? Oh, Dale, did you get in trouble again? An older gentleman looks to be this young man's father because you get a closer look at this young man. He's 14, 15. He's not that old. Like, it seems he was just trying to prank around. I do apologize. He's supposed to be learning better.
Oh, it's
We're on our
quite
way
all
out today. Apologize.
Do tell your offspring, your little kit here, it is not nice to use someone else's likeness without their consent. Somebody might get angry at them. And I just the black side flexes the claws, and so you see little tiny daggers come out of her paws.
Young man, apologize to the lady right now. Please do it. Please, quickly, please. Apologize. And then as soon as he squeaks out, I'm sorry. They're gone, and there is a outline in dust of the both of them. They quickly exit and make their way back to wherever they came from. So we'll fast forward a little. You've met back up with Kovak. You guys, all of you have gathered. We'll say you gathered at a quiet little out of the way place. Just outside the house of rest, all of you popped back in to your little extra dimensional living space that you were given as quarters here. And you've just met back outside, and you guys are just about to start talking or looking for your avowed contact when you are approached by a decrepit, gray bearded dwarf in a custodial uniform carrying a heavy, square tome bound in black leather.
Peepaw?
The weight of the book causes the old dwarf to wheeze, squint, and clench his teeth. And before he can utter a single word, his knees buckle and he collapses to the ground with the book pressed underneath him.
Kovak lunges forward and is like, "Oh, oh, careful. Do you need any help?"
No check necessary. He is dead.
I'm going to mage hand the book out from under him.
Okay.
I wonder if that book just bored
Out
him to
of-
death.
Out of curiosity, if I step forward and you spare the dying, will that help?
No, like dead, not unconscious, like this is an old man dead. Make me a quick medicine check. Your mage hand doesn't work because the book is too heavy.
Whoa.
Like this guy was lugging that book, and it was that heavy. He
Does
was
it
old.
does it look big enough that it like density wise, right? Does it look big enough that it could
It
have possibly
is.
been that heavy?
Yeah. What'd you roll?
25 with a natural 20.
Baller. Heart attack. Sucker like was lugging this book, and like you recognize those last little bits of movement he did. He was having a heart attack as he was walking up and just dropped dead.
I will gingerly roll him onto his back, close his eyes, fold his hands over his chest, and slip the book out from between his hands. And
Careful touching that.
Yes, the book, bound in sturdy black leather, has a title and an author's name both on the front cover and the sides. Also on the front cover, stamped into it, is the image of a smiling dwarf and a builder's hammer. The author is Isajar, Isajar, and the title, Candlekeep Deconstruction. And there's not a single letter C in the title. They have all been replaced with Ks.
I know I only have an intelligence of 10, but I think that means something, guys.
Yeah, an intelligence 10 is a moderate intelligence.
how do you have a higher
notice this.
intelligence than me?
Yeah.
I don't know. Brawn, muscle,
So,
controlling my rage.
The brain is a muscle.
do any of you wish to open the book?
Well, I am a scholar by trade. Reading, writing, studying, smut, it's all there. I mean, I'm not Polly for nothing.
Did you just say smut?
Perhaps.
She did, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just checking. You have
Every
advantage on your
time.
next charisma check. Just for that.
The fact that I slipped it in there all nice and quick and easy with consent.
Yep. The pages of the book measure 15 inches square, crisp and white, only occasionally marred by the smudge or tear from a reader's thumb. You flip through the book and you see diagrams and descriptions of nearly every location in Candlekeep, like towers in the inner ward, locations out here in the outer ward. This is basically an architectural digest of the entire place. Do you continue perusing it?
Well, of course. Again, I am a scholar by trade.
Excellent. And as you just sort of flip through it, you find a single bookmarked section. You find an unusual set of renderings for a tower titled Barn Door. It doesn't tell you how it got that name. On the facing page is a floor plan detailing the tower's lowest level. Seems to be some sort of a small dungeon complex, which contains an array of odd mechanical devices. Anybody who wishes may make an Arcana check for me.
Well, what kind of creature is contained in that barn?
If no one else will, I'll make an Arcana. I'm not.
I will as well. Might as well.
Yes.
Taking a look,
Alright.
and I get an
Well,
8.
Let's see how many d20s I go through tonight. I'm going to use a d20 for every single different roll.
Baller.
I'll-
So you're
I'll
going to go
roll-
through a lot of them.
I'll roll for Arcana. I also got a 3.
When you say I'm going to
30-20.
go through a lot of them, this is how many d20s I have out.
I will make
Are you
every
a? Oh,
effort to
you're a
go through
dice
every single one of
goblin.
them.
Okay,
I
you
appreciate
see this
a
little
good dice
pack out that I'm
goblin.
pointing to right here? Kind
Yeah.
of, essentially?
Yep.
The red thing?
Yeah.
Each, in there are little cases like this. Each one,
Oh, I have my work cut out for me. Challenge accepted.
each one is a different dice style. I only have certain
Excellent.
ones set out in my
Yeah.
cigar case.
So,
Dice
Yeah,
goblins,
so
you know
My
you-
Arcana is a 14.
14 and Pawlina,
dirty 20.
dirty 20.
I rolled a 3, by the way, if that makes a difference.
Yes. Kovak, Moma, and Hubble. Can't make hides or tails of it. Pawlina, you have no fucking clue. Yeah.
a tower
I just start cleaning
barn.
my
These
paw.
are strange. These are
Nope.
drawings of strange arcane devices, cylinders with open cones at the end. But
Can
you
I
don't know what
discern
they are.
if it is a magical language or if it is a normal language? Because I do have the
that-
spell.
It's
comprehend
not language, it's the
languages.
diagram representing
Ah,
a
okay.
physical object. So it's sort of like an architectural drawing or an engineering drawing.
I think
Oh.
those are
And
cooking
even
utensils.
with an Arcana check of 20, it's still too low to figure out what it is.
I have no idea what it is. Clean paw.
But it's a book.
Is it? I'm guessing it's too late for me to have given guidance to someone.
I'll allow it.
I will kindly, gently reach over and give some head scritches for guidance.
All right.
Oh,
Uh,
yes, right there,
Pawlina,
right there.
go
Oh,
ahead
oh,
and
oh.
yeah. After you're done with that, go
Um,
ahead. Once you get the scritchies, go ahead and roll me a d4.
I give head scritches for Pawlina.
Mama, you know just where I like it. It's just it itches right there, and I can never get it quite right. Thank you. How to find my caltrops.
Yep.
That would be a 4.
Okay, so a total of 24. With that guidance,
Is it enough?
you know it is something, but it is just out of reach. The DC was 25.
Oh,
Dang it.
My
I
badge.
would need to have had a natural 20.
I accept the badge with pride because I didn't write that. But that, like,
Is-
even with that 24, you know it's just out of your reach, and that alone tells you this is some complex shit.
I don't know what this is, but I think we need a wizard.
Yeah, you need a wizard or researcher or something.
maybe Ivory can help us.
Oh, did I hear my name?
Maybe.
Oh dear. Oh. Where did you find that? As she spots the book.
Under the dead guy right there.
This unfortunate
y-
person.
She very politely but firmly wrests it from your grasp and summons other avowed. Over the next few minutes, there's just this quick whirlwind as avowed are gathered to take this dwarf's body and take him away and take the book. Ivory basically explains, this book was part of the restricted vaults and should not be seen by outsiders. I do apologize for the confusion.
But it's my
Yeah.
book.
I don't think it belongs to us.
It
But-
does. I totally saw Pawlina. It was in her bag, and this old dude totally like stole it from her.
What do you want for
Little
it?
Hubble. Why am I going
Yeah.
into
One
German?
of the custodial staff?
No, I'm going German. Little Hubble, darling.
Well, I
what
will
have
trade it to
what
you.
has Moma told you about lying?
that it's healthy and good for my coping, so that way I don't reach out and attack someone randomly.
She's gonna lean down very
Remember.
close to you and do her best to not show everyone the factor of like pulling down her glasses, but she pulls down her sunglasses and looks you directly eye to eye, just between the two of us, so you can see into the pure blackness and star-filled eyes with the ice blue irises. Is that what Moma has taught you, darling?
No.
Never mind. You can
She lifts her
take it
sunglasses
and
back up.
that.
Yes.
You sometimes do. And she'll say snottily as like she like turns her
For the
back
record,
to you.
you two do know there is no fighting and no stealing. So if anyone said they stole something, they are thrown out.
Do we know? Okay, so this person that our dragonborn friend here has brought over.
This is irony. This is your basically avowed contact. She is a teenage tiefling. She is she's often a scribe, but she has offered over these past few months and years to help you out with your research, anything you all do. She helps share the rules, but she is very by the book. She has shared with you her aspirations to be the keeper of tomes one day, basically the boss.
Well, you
So
see,
she, she's got a 10-year plan of political success, that kind of thing.
but we like her
Oh
essentially.
yeah, she is nice and friendly.
So I shouldn't try and sleight of hand the book away from her is what I'm getting at.
She already handed the book over to, like, there's this whirlwind of activity as other, like, they're taking the body away too. And now she's standing there basically sort of debriefing with you guys. Do you have any questions of her? Do you have any?
Well, if it's not supposed to be taken out, how is it that someone was able to get it all the way out here with such a vigor and movement that they had a heart attack and up and left their mortal coil out the door?
That is a good question. You are of a divine slight. Do you have the ability to speak with the dead or aid in the investigation? We can go ask these individual questions. I am not familiar with them, so I could not name them. But I will allow you to have prepared speak with dead if you wish to.
What level is that?
It's like a second level.
I would.
Yeah, I would
know what
probably.
you have to say.
Yeah, probably
There,
pass that off instead of um
yeah.
is
But
Fairy Fire force on me? I can't remember.
yes, Fairy Fire is automatically prepared as part of being a Twilight Cleric.
Right, it's
So yeah, while you figure that out, did you see anything in the book that you seem to have been reading it very specifically?
Yes.
Whatever's in there, it's very fancy. Kind of upset that you took the book away. It was very fancy. Through my job, I know things about Arcana. It was some sort of schematic, architectural mumbo jumbo. I don't know what it was.
So you remember the section it was in?
Yes, it was a barn, but it was also a tower. And it also had machines.
The barn door.
Yes, I think that was
Oh, that is very strange. See, the barn door is one of the many towers in the inner world. Again, like everything, the inner world is off limits to outsiders. This particular book was even in the restricted vaults, so outsiders shouldn't have even been able to check it out or take it out here into the outer world. Uh, the barn door's been condemned for many years. Uh, so long, we don't even remember why it was condemned. But we just haven't bothered to repair it or tear it down.
A place that
Yes.
keeps such good records. I'm surprised you forgot.
Would I have any material components, including financial material components for spells?
Yes, we'll assume like, you guys are level 9. You probably have gathered enough. We will allow for that. And for material components like that, they probably have some and they'll help facilitate it if because you guys they're local investigators and people who do things. So they'll probably make some materials available to you.
The reason I ask is I have access to 5th level spells, and I can, instead of speak with that, I can raise him for a little while.
You can certainly try.
Actually, I will use just speak because that's a lot of spell.
Mhm.
And I'd rather just use a 3rd level spell than a.
Mhm. It also should be noted he died of a heart attack, but he essentially was old. Like he essentially died of old age. But you can try.
Yeah, I'll use I'll actually use speak with dead on him.
Ivory then takes you to where they're taking the body. She stops
my
the
sink.
avowed, and all of you
Whoop.
go to a quiet room in the Temple of Agma just to perform the rites and ritual. As she takes you there, she does also mention, it's interesting. Lately, there seem to been some rumors of strange noises coming from the tower, from the barn door. Nothing major. I mean, there's weird stuff all over. We've got creatures from the plane of law, Mechanus. We have a ghost dragon in the basement. So, strange noises are
Oh,
nothing.
Frederick! Oh, he's so kind.
Miam. Miam's a spectral worm.
Yeah, well, I occasionally call him Frederick.
We
I
have
love
a
Moma so
eccentric
much.
bunch. Hopefully you can forgive us.
I do speak Draconic.
For the record, Miam goes by she, her.
Rest in peace.
Most days.
I mean, she is a spectral ghost of a long rotted dragon's corpse.
So her
Gender is
pronouns
kind
are
of
was
beyond her
what?
at this point.
Are was where?
Yeah, pretty much, actually.
I like it.
You know what I like? I like this idea that over the past few months, like once you learned about Miam, you've been moving the joke and now it's circulating around the avowed. I like that idea. So yes, you gather and you do the ritual. As a reminder, you ask questions. They answer as truthfully as possible. You have 5 questions, and then you're done. You begin the ritual, and we'll say it could be cast as a ritual, I believe. So we'll say you ritual cast it. And
By the way, the last
breath
thing
comes.
of my ritual is the last 2 items are 1, Vicks Vapor Rub, and 2, Wake Up, Darling.
As you put the Vicks Vapor Rub on there, and you say, "Wake up, darling." A breath enters his lung and his eyes open, not quite milky because this body is still fresh. It would almost appear alive if it weren't for the absolute stillness of the rest of the body, save for the lungs and the mouth. What is your first question?
How did you come to have that book?
The voice is going to be whispery and raspy, but the mic doesn't translate that. So just
At least now we can
Um,
understand and feel that range.
mhm. I stole it from the collection Stonky kept.
Why?
Because I realized Stonky is not as much of a visionary as he thinks he is. He is mad.
Kovak leans over to Ivory and says, "Who is Stonky?"
It's like a donkey, but a skeleton. So a stonky.
Does
I'm
Hubble hear
leaving
that?
for you to.
Donkey J. Knoptopper, the leader of the livestock cult.
That was. Am I correct in thinking the corpse answered that?
Yes, that is now 4 because you just asked it. No, I'm just yeah. The corpse answered that.
The corpse did answer that?
Yeah,
Okay.
Kovak
he asked the question.
Real quick.
Wait, no, back up. The specific wording of this spell is only the person who cast it can ask the questions.
Oh,
Oh,
phew.
kind of leaving that open. Wasn't
Yeah.
sure.
So Hubble will lean over to Kovak. Didn't Stonky have a ring or something?
In world, you guys would know about Stonky's ring.
That's Bree, but like still.
Yeah.
Do you want me to roll for that?
Well, I think in world, no, because it's
Okay.
a very specific magical item to Stonky. Mama, your third question, please.
I love how the O has already turned into an A as you're asking
Sorry.
it. Oh no, it's perfectly fine.
Moma.
Again, it's not wrong.
You're my meowma.
That's actually part of how it started. I'll tell you later of how that character's name came about.
Oh,
Oh, by the way, for the Y, he continues, I was hoping to delay the launch.
of the Hubble telescope? I'm not the one asking the questions. This is not a character
What
question.
launch?
Okay, let me after reading Candlekeep Deconstruction, Stonky realized one of the towers, the barn door, is actually a flying device powered by arcane engines known as rockets.
I didn't know they were allowed to tell jokes.
I'm going to
What's a rocket?
gently lean my hands forward and firmly cup his ears as I look to the rest of the group. Do y'all have any questions?
No,
got
honestly, it's just really creepy when you do this, and I'm ready for it to be over.
Oh, hun, just because I asked that kind old man back how to get here in the first place after he had been thrown out, beaten 3/4 to death,
How'd he get the book?
he stole it.
They still, that's right.
Took it from Stonky's collection.
She spins around 3 times and is like, oh, there's a bee over there.
By the way,
You
if
can
he
tell
was awake,
Pawlina
he would.
does not correct.
If he was actually awake and alive, he would probably be feeling pain with how hard I am, like cupping his head. Of like,
Oh, there's definitely a deformation of the skull going on right now.
yeah. As a note to others, Moma has a strength of 16, and she's using all of that passiveness to cup the ears. That way he can't hear me asking you all questions.
So Hubble is stronger and smarter than you. Noted.
Well, again, you may be stronger, but I am wiser.
That's
Yeah.
maybe.
I have a 20. Ain't no way you not wiser.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah.
She's got the
Hey-
leverage of height. Is the
Yeah.
advantage here.
Moma, I respect everything you do, but not everyone needs to be saved. Sometimes they just need to die
Well, he did die.
again.
He's already dead.
So like maybe you could ask him how he wants to die.
No,
He's already dead.
No, I know he's already dead, but we brought him back.
No, not
He's
really.
gonna.
It's
he's
only the
gonna
Vicks,
die
darling.
at the
It's
end of
only
the
the
spell.
Vicks.
Okay.
I only used like 2 fingers worth. So,
Hubble would recognize a speak with dead. The body is given a facsimile of life to be
I
able
know.
to whisper.
I know, but maybe he wants to go a little bit more. Like, this is his second chance to like go out, kind of. You understand my thinking?
Paulina's gonna pat.
friend.
Paulina's going to pet Hubble on the head, being like, "It's okay. It's okay. He'll be dead soon."
I
Okay.
think what Hubble
I-
is saying
I-
is Hubble
I am terrible
wishes
with
to
names.
bash him in.
Our guide, the
Yep.
tiefling, what's her name again?
Ivory.
Ivorine?
Yes.
Ivorine, darling, do you have any questions for this, former man?
Yes. What is his name?
She pulls one of her large hands away from one ear. What is your name, darling?
Yeah. I just need to get the full name. Yeah. I am Buron Sternmetal, codenamed Rooster Muffin.
Cups her hand back on the head. Make sure you get all of that on the tomb. We don't want to leave anything behind.
He gets a notepad and writes it down.
Oh, ask him if he knows what the schematics are. Oh, no, don't know, because then he's only got one question left.
Because he already explained the rockets. Like, their power,
Right,
like,
okay.
with your earlier Arcana check, I'll say, oh, that must be what they are.
Got it, okay.
He's giving you
Pawlina
a
currently does not have the
at
great
least
self.
+1 competency on top of the roll that you already made.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess I'm curious because
I'll
if he
say,
has a
with your
codename-
wisdom and your awareness, an idea pops into your head. What's the purpose of this? Why is Stonky doing this?
I will pull my hand away. Why is Stonky doing all this?
He is hoping to take a collection of books and keep them out of the hands of the unworthy. He has used several constructs that he has built to repair the barn door, to launch it into space. With the last answer, he goes limp and falls dead, his eyes staring blankly into yours.
Again, that has to be a joke, though, right? I mean, that can't possibly.
I almost
I
laughed.
set his head back down. Pat him on the chest.
Can we
Kovak,
rifle through his
darling,
pockets now?
I highly doubt that anything that he said would be a joke. Jokes are for the living, answers are for the dead, and secrets are for books.
Why are you looking at me?
I said to
I'm only following
Kovak.
the orders. Oh, okay. Um, I have to go check in with the other avowed and make sure the book is returned. I shall leave you to this here. They shall be here certainly to take the body further. If you wish to continue following this, you may. Excuse me. And she rushes out of the
Before she leaves,
As
I'm
soon
going to
as
try and
she-
like reach out real quick and with my hand on her shoulder. Darling, do you know where Stovak is?
where Stonky is?
Yeah.
I have not heard. I shall go investigate.
As
And
soon as
ask
you
around.
know, give me a shout, alright?
We gotta go cuff someone across the ears.
She rushes off. What are you guys doing right now?
I'm searching the body.
Okay. There are other avowed here that are waiting for the rest, so they are keeping their eyes on you. Make me a sleight of hand
So-
check. Let's have some fun with this.
Sleight of hand and perception, or
No, you're just doing a sleight of hand because they're
Okay.
there and you're just trying not to be noticed.
well, I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Statistical anomaly. Let's go.
This is why, if I got it, I'm gonna freaking use it. Okay, hold on. That was a natural 19. Hold on, I gotta do math.
With the sleight of hand, which is probably real good.
Yeah, 1929.
Wow.
32
Um,
for sleight of hand.
wait, did you just say 32?
Yes, because it was a natural 19 plus 13.
Absolutely.
sleight of hand.
Yes, we have a rogue in the party.
I
I'm so
I
happy.
steal everything.
For the record, 30 is considered nearly impossible. So, like, none of you notice what she is doing.
Which is
Moma, not even you.
surprising to me.
Yeah, you're looking, and you don't
This is-
notice.
This is why Pawlina, despite not having the brain cell half the time, is still in the party.
The brain cell locks in on a perfect wavelength, and your hands paw through pockets and little bits, occasionally a claw reaching out to see if it can grab something or not. You find some fantasy Werthers. You don't find anything else. But
Did you just say
Mm.
Werthers?
Yes.
yeah, he's an old guy.
Okay.
Were those originals?
If you do not pass one off to
I'm.
the middle-aged woman, you will be upset.
Oh, absolutely.
With the search, and as you finish it up, all of you also start recognizing the outfit he's wearing. So, among the staff at Candlekeep, there are the avowed, the people who have achieved the rank of the avowed and serve as researchers, assistants, stuff like that. People who wish to become avowed or who fail to become avowed can sometimes join other staff members. This guy is dressed as a member of the custodial staff, so they do, the lower level, often considered menial jobs of general upkeep and cleanliness. And you're getting the sense maybe Stonky's one of that too.
Well,
As
then in
part
that
of
case,
my
I say we should
32,
go
can I
check out the janitors.
You
And
also
can I
do
slip
know.
a Werther's into
Yes.
Momo's pocket when she's not looking, so
Yeah.
that when next time she
Um,
rifles through?
Yeah. Moma, the next time you go through your pockets, someone has conjured a word for you.
Now, out of curiosity, did you put it into my pocket or into my purse? Because there is a very pocket. Okay.
Yep.
Because I do have a purse
has
around my
pockets.
shoulder. It looks like a messenger bag kind of purse.
That will be for next time, but this time it was into the pocket.
You've
You
noticed me
all-
pull out some very unusual things from my purse before. You've seen me pull out a entire dining set, including fold-out tables and chairs.
Yeah, it's a
Well, and oh, that's brilliant. This is why I'm putting it in your pocket so that you actually find it.
Yeah, it's a purse of holding.
Purse of
You
holding.
guys
I love
once
it.
had a close call where someone nearly shoved a portable hole in there, but you guys managed to stop it just in time.
Oh no.
And I stared them straight in the
That,
eye.
dear tavern goers, is a story for another time. So you all head out back to the Court of Air. Some avowed come take his body away. They actually take him through the Emerald Door. You see over the walls into the inner ward the spires towering above of the Exaltation, the home of the avowed. You've never seen it in its entirety, though, because it is in the inner ward that you do not have access to. The inner ward, where the barn door is. What do you do? What is your immediate next step? What do you want to try to do?
It's just a door.
So the Emerald Door is the entry into the inner ward. It is guarded, it is protected, and is locked, and there is an avowed who is on shift at all times, checking entry. Very, very rarely does a non-avowed get granted access, and that's usually by some high-level member of Candlekeep, usually one of the readers who are the high-level avowed, basically, managers of the place of various specialties. Professors almost.
I'm gonna
I
go up
think-
to the person at the gate.
I think this is
Okay.
a Moma job.
And I'm going to look at them and ask kindly if they can point me in the direction of Stonky.
I do not know who this donkey is. Are they an avowed?
They're among the
Or-
custodial staff, probably someone that has worked or recently done some work among areas in your lovely closed off area.
We have an appointment.
I have some
Do
questions
you have
for
your
you.
letter of passage?
You'll see
And
Hubble kind of.
someone is given entry into the inner ward. Someone writes a
Hubble, did
letter
you-
and seals it.
You'll look at Hubble and she's gonna puff up really big and she's gonna act really big and intimidating. I don't need a letter. I am an avowed.
And it almost seems like your voice begins to shake the very foundations. Then you realize, oh no, actually, the foundations are shaking because an earthquake causes all of Candlekeep to shudder. And then, as suddenly as it began, it stops.
That wasn't me. I didn't do that.
That was
Everyone is
really
looking nervously.
easy.
People
Rob-
are coming out into the court of air from the various buildings, asking and talking about what's going on. What do you do?
I'm going to look at the gentleman in front of me, leaning down, because I'm assuming that he's shorter than me. And just getting as close as I can to him for a moment as I softly say, that probably came from the barn door. That is why we have to speak to Stonky. And if you need me to get a letter, then I will make sure that your mama hears about it as well.
You must be invited to be granted entry. I am sorry.
Our appointment is in the barn
Make
door.
me a perception check, please.
Am I not able to get it off of my passive?
Go ahead and make me a perception. We'll have fun. We're having some rolls. We're chilling.
I don't get my
Does he
added
have keys
bonuses
on
for it
him?
just being a roll.
Oh, because you took observant.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's only a +9.
Don't worry, the DC's not that bad.
I'm giving myself guidance.
All right, yeah, I'll allow it.
Hey, Scott, does this guy have keys on him while this
oh
is
my
happening?
gosh.
The emerald door is locked magically. You would know that.
Fart.
14.
What'd you get? 14? That's fine. Don't worry. We're just having some fun with some rolls here. It takes you a second because of this argument, but eventually something catches the corner of your eye. Towering above the rest of the crowd, having walked out from the hearth, is a very familiar figure. They are a green dragonborn. They have a normal name, but they are not known by it here. Here, they are known as Bookworm, the first reader, aka the boss of all the readers. So it basically goes Keeper of Tomes, reader.
I will immediately stand up, turn to look at him, and in Draconic.
Yep. He's across the way, but he's coming out looking as confused as everyone else.
What did you say his name was again?
His name is Bookworm. He's looking around and then he spots the rest of you and starts making his way towards you.
I use Thaumaturgy and speak in Draconic. Oh, Mr. Reader, may I have a word?
Everyone in the court of air, because mind you, it got pretty crowded pretty fast. Everyone came outside like, what's going on? What's happening? Should we need to evacuate the buildings? Because, you know, Avowed are going in and out, making sure the structural integrity, but everyone stops and turns to look at the 6'10"
Human.
Mama.
It's
And
not
they all
just a
just
mama.
stop and
I
then-
am a muscle mama.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
Make sure
the
to keep
tabaxi
hydrated,
over
dear.
here calls you muscle mommy, but
Anyways, he approaches, but
Oh my.
everyone's heads are just simultaneously doing the boop, 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 back and forth until he approaches. I assume you felt that?
Honey, I tasted that. I believe it's coming from that building. I point to the barn door.
Well, you
And
can't see the barn door. You've got the walls there. Like the barn door is somewhere deep
Oh.
inside the Great Library. You don't know where it specifically is.
it came from, I'm pretty sure that it came from the barn door. And this,
The barn door? That building's been out of commission for years.
and a man had a heart attack trying to make sure that something doesn't happen to it. And I'm pretty sure that something is about to happen.
Well, make me a persuasion check. With advantage. I'm a generous DM.
And I'm throwing,
I'll allow it.
so that's a 26 with a natural 20 and a natural 4.
I love when she does that. She's very
Yes,
convincing.
as do I. He takes a step back, like he's still taller than you because he's a dragonborn, but at the same time, he just takes a step back. It's like, I understand. All of you have been doing great work to aid us on all sorts of investigations. We are glad to have you here. And then he walks with you and the rest of the party up. Everyone's still talking and whispering amongst themselves. Oh, I heard it from over there. No, it came from this direction. And it felt real weird. The shake and the vibration. Like they're all talking, trying to compare notes. But you guys are bypassing that investigation part because you already know where the hell you're going. As he walks by, he flicks his hand and a written letter appears in the air. He writes all your names down on it, and it magically folds and seals itself. He walks up to the keeper of the door, hands it to them. I shall be escorting them into the inner ward to the barn door. This shall suffice. They take the letter, crack the seal. You know, they still have to go through the
Mhm.
order of operations, double check. Access has been granted for a 10-day. They hand you back the letter, and the door to a place you have never been to before opens.
As the door's opening, Kovak turns to the Dragonborn and says, "Do you have a scroll for that spell? My sister would really like such a thing."
It's a it's a business confidential specialty thing. We have to
Oh,
protect the inner ward.
proprietary. Fair.
Yep. And all of you, one by one, step through the emerald door, the now open emerald door, into the inner ward of Candlekeep. You step inside and you see a cacophony of towers and buildings, all sorts of different architectural styles. Bookworm is going to guide you to the barn door because you could get lost in this veritable labyrinth of structures. He gives some basic explanations as to what the deal is here. He basically explains the barn door. So the barn door was condemned years ago when some of the sages concluded, well, it wasn't exactly safe for occupancy. You know, fire code and all that. Well, we don't exactly need fire code here because of the fire suppression spell. Anyways, I've. Do you share with him the nature of the rockets that
Oh,
you
yeah.
found in Candle? I have never heard of such things in before. This is strange. This is odd.
Yes,
The
I thought it was
front.
a joke, but I was told that the dead don't joke. Must be boring to be dead.
Are they always like this?
Yes.
Quite often.
Okay.
But it is true.
Okay.
Jokes are for the living, and secrets are for books.
Or for our ghost dragon downstairs in the basements and the catacombs.
She likes books. I know it. I've read many a good book.
She actually has a horde of them that she
Oh, I
guards
know.
and protects.
I've added a
Big
couple
books.
spicy ones myself. The one about about a woman named after a bird and this little green man druid, and it's so adorable.
I'll have to make note of that for research purposes.
Oh, you will
I think
thoroughly
I
enjoy
think I
it.
know I think I know a dwarf and an elf that are working on some handmade smut too. Maybe she'll want that.
You know, at some point.
He also shares that the front door to the tower is often locked, but it is locked magically. But he shares with you the key phrase: Jeopardy.
And you hear
Do I have to
you hear Pawlina kind of whisper just out of habit going, that's not a very good password. Needs to be multiple phrases.
unless you have to form that password as a question?
No, it's just the word Jeopardy. Who did you say was here at the barn door?
A custodial person that is been working at it, a person named Stonky, and they have been using
Donkey Knob Topper.
Yes,
if
and
I
they have been
remember correctly.
using constructs for a lot of their additional work.
Odd. Yes, Donkey. Let me. Yes, one of the custodial staff assigned to help clean the towers of the inner ward. Very determined, very wanted to be an avowed, didn't quite make it. Um, very protective of Candlekeep. I cannot believe that he would do anything to endanger the citadel.
They're just trying to take some things away that they believe are, and I quote, not worthy for others.
Hmm. Um, very self-righteous. That was the word I was looking for.
They have not learned a proper way of sharing, and
Mhm.
back home we remind people.
Of course. Um, After a few minutes, he guides you through the twists and turns, and you come up across the tower. A 3-story stone tower topped with a roof of metal shingles and painted red. The only entrance appears to be a ground level iron door with a wooden sign bolted to it that reads in common, "Danger, no trespassing." As at this point, Bookworm turns to you. "Here is the tower. I leave you in charge of the investigation. I'm going to return to the other readers, and we are going to confer as to our next actions. We shall see you in a little over an hour, hopefully. You shall hear from us. In the meantime, I shall return. Stay here near the tower, because if you wander, you will get lost."
Do we have permission to go and search inside on the off chance that
Yes. Permission to search inside and take any and all necessary physical violent action
she starts rolling up
to
her sleeves,
maintain
showing the
security.
many different tattoos that she has?
He traces some sigils and wards in the air, and they all puff on each of you, giving you temporary passage for the. Well, no, those aren't magical rules. I give you verbal permission here to engage in combat as needed, but please keep it to a minimum, and please do not destroy any of the tomes if you run into, especially you.
I must smash
Smash
See,
skulls, not books.
both.
Paulina's just thinking in the back of her head,
Hubble,
I
darling.
just heard the phrase, take anything.
Take actions necessary. No stealing the books. You still don't have permission to do that.
Smash.
Do not smash the books.
What if, okay, what if they're holding a book as like a shield and I just smash through the book into their skull?
Then that's when you go for the kneecaps first, darling. We've spoken about this. If
I
they're
will leave you
using
to
a
discuss
book as a
this, and
shield
he
for their
walks off.
chest, you go for the knees and below the rest.
Cool.
With all due respect, please don't tell me how to fight.
I will. I don't want you to be depriving yourself of so many good books, darling.
That's true.
You can leave the finessing to me.
Fair. Smash.
All right. So you're standing at the door. What do you do?
I say Jeopardy as soon as Bozo is out of earshot.
The door opens. And do you step inside?
Oh yes, and at this point, our illustrious dungeon master, I should probably warn you that one of my items, uncommon items, is a bow of awareness, which means there are some things with this one. Okay, let me read it out for everyone because
I
it's kind
believe
of
you get
important.
advantage on initiative rolls.
Yes, in addition, you and any of your companions within 30 feet of you cannot be surprised except when incapacitated by something other than non-magical sleep.
And I have a
I have-
longsword that does the same thing.
Yep. All
I
right,
have that.
so
So what we will do now, to our tavern goers, in order for me to keep track of everything and to aid our other storytellers, we are using on an off-screen we have some maps that I'm sharing with them. I will still be describing locations and where everything is so you can know where everything's at. I'm just using these to help me keep track. Because as you open the door, here we are on the map. I'll put Pawlina first, and you find yourself in the first tower. Let me go ahead and reveal some things to you.
Are you posting the maps now, or did you already post them? And I just
The link is in the Discord.
where?
To the Discord.
In Gear Up.
Ah,
Do I need to refresh the
Thank you.
page?
You might need to refresh. I've had to do it a few times.
Okay. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
The tower's ground floor smells of old books and has walls lined with floor-to-ceiling bookcases. Wood-framed doors set with small diamond-shaped panes of glass keep the books secure on the shelves, each section of which has a rolling ladder anchored to a ceiling rail. 3 custodians are working here, sweeping the floors: a human, a gnome, and a half-elf. For the record, everybody roll initiative.
2 of us roll at advantage.
Yep.
Mhm.
That is
Well,
correct.
How, unless you mean me and Pawlina, then 3 of us.
and Hubble.
Everyone has advantage on their...
Everyone initiative. That's amazing.
Are you kidding me? If you'll excuse me, I'm just gonna go readjust a few other challenges in a minute. But
But
yes,
don't worry, I still will roll like shit on initiative like I normally do.
Yeah, I rolled an advantage on initiative, and I rolled only a 10, so I only get a 14.
You know how badly I roll normally. If I get advantage, I am taking it.
I got a nasty, nasty submissive 20.
Nice. All right, I gotta make sure
That's
I'm
the
gonna
best kind of 20,
get
isn't
that
it?
running.
Yes, it
back in.
is. Ooh, not natural, but nasty. Did
There
you
we go.
roll a natural 20, Guild?
Okay. I should actually roll initiative myself.
I have a 19.
I got a 23.
All right, I gotta roll for the cultists.
My dexterity is
they
only
actually
a plus
rolled
1.
horribly.
Oh, okay.
All right. So Moma, what'd you roll?
Love how it just turned to Momo.
I said Moma. I was just real fast about it.
19.
19. Kovak.
A 14.
14. Pawlina.
23.
Nice. And Hubble.
A submissive 20.
Nice. A dirty
Silver
and
is with
submissive
us tonight.
20. That brings us to the top of the initiative order. You open the door. The 3 of you in the back are just kind of arguing there, but as the door opens, all of you see into this brightly lit room, and there's 3 cultists there, sweeping, cleaning, all wearing custodial uniforms, and they look up, they're like, "Hey, what the fuck?" And you go off. Pawlina, you are up first. What would you like to do? There's no grid
So-
snapping, but just kind of you have room to move
So-
yourself around.
The people that we're seeing in the custodial uniforms, do we get the impression that they're with our tiefling friend or against our tiefling friend?
Okay, so Ivory wasn't avowed. She wasn't wearing a custodial uniform. She was with you. Your dwarf friend was wearing a custodial uniform, and Stonky is custodial staff as
Got it.
well.
So we know that these guys are more or
Yeah.
less.
By the way, as soon as they spot you,
Okay.
they're being aggressive. You're catching them off guard, which is why you're getting, the drop on them. But you already get the idea they're gonna attack you.
So I have advantage on this first roll. Or this first attack. Would this count as a surprise round and I would get advantage? This is
No,
very
they are not
important as a roll.
surprised.
Fudgers.
Yeah, sorry.
Hold
Because
on.
surprise is like if you really like they saw you opening the door, you saw them, and now we're
I
in
do need to
initiative.
retcon one thing.
Yes.
Oh no.
I am using a 3rd level spell before, sorry, a 3rd level spell before we head in.
Okay, what's the spell?
Aid,
I'll allow it.
because
I'd
I
like
know
to
that
think
we're.
that you hear her say the word livestock. You're like, oh, we're doing this. Bing! So you pop aid.
Yep, and that means that everyone gets a bonus to your maximum HP by 5.
Nice. Mama
And the
gave us
reason I'm
a-
casting it as a 3rd level spell is that way I can take advantage of it too.
So those are just added onto our
Yes.
HP.
Your
It's
max
not
HP
temp.
goes up.
No, it is not
Okay.
temp. It is a temporary max buff of 5.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I have to
So
do
you'll
math.
be able to heal up to it, even if you get brought down.
Oh.
Don't
I have to
worry,
do math.
Muscle Mommy's got you.
Oh no, Bree's doing math.
Thank you.
All right. So you've got basically you're kind of at the door there, so you can kind of pop, and then you've got them. You have room to move around. There's a stairway across the way that curves up. There's a little bit of a wall there. What is your passive perception? You
Mine?
also do notice that it's kind of weird that there's a bookshelf where it is on the wall there. You got to look at it closer to determine.
So I don't.
There is
whatever
a
it is, I don't
question in
like it.
chat.
Oh, whatever it is not necessarily dangerous. It's just interesting to note.
Hey, Mac.
Yes.
Can I ask a question from chat?
What's up?
Unless we already talked about this and I was distracted. If you beat them in initiative, doesn't it more or less count as a surprise?
No. Surprise is actually not a round, it is a condition. When you are surprised,
right.
you cannot take any actions or bonus actions or movements on your turn. And you cannot take any reactions till after your turn when the surprise condition abates.
Gotcha. Okay.
They changed the mechanics of it in 5e. So like the first round, a surprise round is really you start at the top of the initiative order. The people who aren't surprised can go, but the people who are can't. And they can't react until after their turn in the initiative order.
Well, in that case, I'm gonna do something very sacrilegious. Who is the one that's closest to me?
That would be Chicken Peach.
All right, Chicken Peach.
Chicken
I am
Peach
going
is a rock gnome.
rock gnome.
I have a little chart of all the members.
Nice.
This might not work for a rock gnome, but I'm gonna do it anyway, just to find out, because it seems a good time to do that. I am going to cast Firebolt at the rock gnome.
Excellent. So I actually should letter these guys so I know who we're talking about in the tracker. All right. So Chicken Peach is right there. You take a shot.
Juice is +7. My dice like me today, and I will hate saying that. All right, 19 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
All right. Now I do 2d10.
Yeah. 2d10.
Amazing.
5. Cocked. All right, 10 points of damage. With
Cool. How do you
Firebolt?
want to kill him?
I want him to die in a burning inferno where he goes, ah!
Okay. As the flame hits him and it scorches through and starts going up, the flames are immediately snuffed out because of the magical wards. But he is scorched and he basically chokes on the smoke. Or actually, like, he chokes because all the air right around him was basically sucked out by the wards. And Chicken Peach has been roasted.
Rest in peace, Chicken Peach.
And then a bonus action hide.
Yes. So yeah, you could basically like duck around the corner because you got plenty of movement, and
Or hide behind the very tall person with a shield and longsword.
Can I hide behind Mama?
I mean, you could, but as soon as Moma moves,
Okay, I hide behind the door because then I
Yeah.
can sneak attack.
Stealth check.
17 plus 13. I vanish.
Yeah,
That's a
like
30.
the rest of the party with you. Like it's later morning, so the sun is well up. You vanish from plain sight. The rest
Yep.
of you are like, hey, where'd she go?
It was just right here.
Yeah. So that leads us. That was your action.
Have I
bonus
mentioned I
action.
love rogues?
I know, right? That takes us to hey, Hubble. There's people who are aggressive. One is already dead, and there's 2 more. You want to hit them?
Her eyes twitching. Did she notice that it didn't take much to kill chicken roast?
Yeah, it didn't take much. You get the idea. These guys aren't that tough, so they're not worth burning the.
Yeah. So what she's gonna do is she's turning a shade of pink, but not quite red yet. And she's gonna go up to, because that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. She's gonna go up to alpaca maca nuts.
Alpaca maca nuts.
And then
macadamia. It's alpaca macadamia nuts is the full name, but I had to shorten it so it didn't take up the space.
okay, well, alpaca
Yes.
maca nuts.
So
she's
yes, this
gonna-
is a human.
Well, she's finally gets a hit thing, so she is gonna attack recklessly though.
Please do.
Hit him in the nuts.
You guys' ACs are fine.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do that with reckless. That's cocked. That's better. Yeah, stop it. 28 to hit.
I'd hope so.
And fuck it, she's gonna no, she's only gonna do this. Yeah, she's gonna do this with 2 hands. Why not?
What's your weapon of choice again? I never asked you that earlier.
Shatter spike.
It's a long sword.
What type of what? It's a longsword. Yeah.
Yep.
So as that longsword connects, you realize they're wearing sort of like their clothes are padded and everything. They may have like leather armor under it, but these guys are not well protected.
She's recklessly attacking, so she doesn't give a shit.
Yep.
She's just gonna hit them with both hands.
Yeah.
And that is holy shit. Jesus Christ, breathe. It's just math. It's simple addition. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 points. 13 points of damage.
Bree's doing math.
It's gonna be a long day.
Yep.
Long
I have
day.
a question.
Yeah.
Would you like to divide them horizontally or vertically?
Or diagonally.
Neither. I'm gonna take Mama's advice. Well, horizontal technically. I'm gonna take Mama's advice, and I'm gonna cut them across the kneecaps, and I'm gonna make eye contact with Mama at the same time as I'm doing this.
And I'm giving you a nice big thumbs up.
You do a spin attack, actually. So you lop them off at the knees. They drop down to your level, and you swing around and lop their head off. And then you realize, as the blood splatters, it hits the glass and doesn't hit any of the books. So the books are undamaged.
Oh, big bet. Okay. And then she still has 10 feet of movement. And
That is
second
enough
attack.
to get over to Cow Cotton.
So I'm gonna do the same thing to Cow Cotton.
Roll to hit.
And then second attack is advantage still, right? With reckless, or is it only on the first one? Okay.
When you go reckless, it's all of your attacks, and then until the start of your next turn, everybody has advantage against you.
A submissive 20.
That hits.
And
That's
then
my new favorite way of saying a dirty 20.
8 points. This time it's only 8 points of damage.
This time, like, this guy's actually starting to react. This one is a half elf, and as you approach him, you try to kneecap, but he ducks out of the way. But you get a gash right across the chest. Blood is spreading across his outfit, and he drops to a knee, barely hanging on, like barely hanging on.
You see her cheeks start to get a little bit more red on her face, and she starts to hum herself to herself so she doesn't start raging that she didn't just kill this guy. And she's gonna say, you know what? I didn't use a bonus action. Okay. As a bonus action, I'm going to declare frenzy attack, and I'm going to take another attack.
Do you have to be raging to frenzy?
Oh yeah, I do. Never mind. I just read that. Never mind. Not going to do that. But you see her she's getting a little bit more red.
Yep.
And she's humming to
Barely
herself.
holding it together.
Yep.
And so, Moma, my dear, what would you like to do?
Out of curiosity, do these guys look fairly intelligent?
I mean, actually, I have their stats right here. I mean, yeah, medium intelligence, 10s. They're normal people. Like, these are average Joes. Make me an insight check, actually.
Can I guide that and still use a spell with my?
I'll say because the nature of what we're in the middle. Well, no, guidance is a reaction in this. We're gonna use what they're editing guidance to be. I'll allow you to use a reaction to guidance.
Oh, that's new. Cool.
Yeah, they're fixing it in the updated rules. I like it, so I'm keeping it.
Neat.
You said a insight? 19.
Yeah. These are in the real quick, as that door opens, they realize like they're about to attack, but the other two are down super fast. And as you're rushing in or getting a read on the room, you realize they were still going to attack to defend this because you saw in their eyes the type of fanatical devotion you've only seen amongst very specific religious subsects of cultish devotion.
I'm going to ask for a intelligence saving throw.
Excellent. And this is not a charm or frightened condition, is it?
Nope.
Okay. I'm going to use my very pretty sparkly air dice that I really like a lot. Yeah, no, that's a natural 6. That's a total of 6.
So it's 2d6. Do I need to actually roll?
Would you like the head to explode or their eardrums just to bleed?
Oh, their ears are like everything is spewing out as I just look at them, and as I no, right before it happens, I just look at them and say, "Son, I am not angry with you, but I am disappointed." As I use Mind Sliver. So blood streaming out the eyes, ears, nose, mouth, just.
Ooh. I felt that over here.
So
Moma's
the door
scary.
opens. Pawlina swoops in, snaps a finger, one of them bursts into flame and then is asphyxiated by the wards themselves. Right behind them, Hubble comes in, lops off, kneecaps one, then beheads them, and backflips to kneecap and behead the other one, barely misses, still hits, but doesn't finish the job. As they drop to their knee, they glance up and see towering in the doorway this massive, muscled Moma. Just looking at them, blood flowing, and those words, "I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed." And just and then steam pops from the side of the ears. The eyes go red as the blood vessels burst. And then he falls to the ground dead. That was 6 seconds. Not even. Before they even had a chance to react, they saw death storm in. They gave their lives for a cause. Wonder if it was worth it for them. In the meantime, hey, you have a room to look over. What do you want to do?
I want to go look at the bookcase.
Excellent. Yes, so that bookcase. Give me a perception check.
Un momento. I think that's a plus. And there it is. Okay.
Now, did you say
And because we've all adventures together, I'm assuming everyone else is looting the bodies. If not, I will after this.
If you want to take the time to loot the bodies, you can, or look over the books. Against the far wall, a wooden staircase covered with green carpeting leads up. In front of the staircase rests a golden credenza with images of farm animals carved into it. A high-backed chair with a burgundy cushion sits behind it.
I got a 23.
Yeah, you realize this bookshelf is weird. There's a hidden door behind it, and you find the book to open it. And as it swings open, you see a stairwell that leads down. You have two choices: to go up, to go down. You can also look at all the books that are in the stacks here. And you have choices of what to do. Something's happening. Is time running out? Do you have all the time in the world? You don't know. And with that, we'll see you right after break.
Yes, in?
All right, everybody, welcome back to the tavern. I hope you all got your sneaky snacks and got your bio breaks. We're going to jump right back into it. Our party of adventurers had made their way to the barn door, investigating research of these rockets that would take the tower into the sky, potentially even to the stars. They managed, after an earthquake hit, to get access to the inner ward and were led to the barn door, where they opened the barn door and took out some livestock cult members. Sorry, livestock cult members. They're not actual livestock. They're thinking, feeling, sentient creatures that just so happen to want to kill our party members and die instead. Yes, Moma.
Were.
That is true. They were. Thank you for correcting my tenses there. Speaking of tense, things aren't that tense anymore, or are they? We don't know. You guys have this room now, the library. You see all these books behind glass cabinets being held in place. You found a secret door. So you have the books that you can peruse and get more detail on. You have a stairway going down and a stairway going up. So which is it? The highway to hell, the stairway to heaven, or the books?
I want to know what down to goes.
Yes, down will lead to another area. So we can do that. Again, for
Did my
those watching,
friends...
we do have maps on another screen that we'll be using, but I will still describe the areas. So they're in sort of a round tower room. There's a jut out on the wall that they found was a secret door to a curved stairway down, and opposite that on the same wall, there's a curved stairway up. So it just sort of matches.
And did my companions loot the bodies yet? Very
Do you
important.
wish to take the time to search the bodies?
I would search.
Okay.
Do we have, do we believe, and I'm saying this in character to the party, do we believe we have 10 minutes to you let me ask them a couple questions? You let me use it as a ritual before.
Yes. So you can cast it as a ritual. You most certainly can.
But again, I'm asking the party.
I really hate it when you do that, if I'm being perfectly honest, but if everyone
One
feels like
interesting
it's
thing to
best.
note about the spell is if the spirit rendition would still, if they recognize you as an enemy, they don't have to answer completely. They can withhold their answers
Mm-hmm.
if they see you as an enemy.
Would they even want to talk to you? I guess is the question that occurs to me from somewhere far off in my mind.
That is very true. but I am willing to start off the conversation with the one that I did finish off himself, of giving them a moment of reprieve. I did tell them I was disappointed, and I could let them know first and foremost, be able to get onto my good side again.
How much noise did we make in this last combat?
Not that much because
In
it happened
general.
just so damn fast. like there were some. I thought
But
was
not
an
like
accurate rendition.
echoing.
Do that again.
Not like echoing or anything.
Like they didn't even really get a chance to shout out.
Okay. Well, in that case, go ahead.
Then I will. Are we giving me the go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead. Because while you do that, I'll loot the bodies.
Okay.
And
And I'm watching the door going
spell
down.
lasts 10 minutes. So like you could potentially be spending 20 minutes doing this. Because you take the 10 minutes to do the ritual, it goes active, and then you ask your questions over the next potentially 10 minutes.
Yes, but I have my questions already locked in my mind.
Yep. All right.
So it should take less than 10 minutes for me to ask my questions
After the ritual.
after the ritual.
All right. Good to know. Okay, so you take the time, you start the ritual, and so this was the half elf that you woke up. So cow cotton, and the breath comes into his lungs, and you have 5 questions. What are they?
Before I start anything off, I want to let you know that while I am currently disappointed in you now, that can change depending on how you respond to me.
No response.
Where is Stonky?
Preparing for our launch.
Is that up or down?
This is not using any in-world time to answer. This is me thinking. Oh, I forgot to do that. He simply answers wherever he needs to be. By the way, in character, you do not know these people's names.
Very true. Do you know how to...
The Muffin Man?
Huh?
The Muffin Man.
Do you know how to start the arcane systems that will launch this place?
No.
Ooh.
How long ago did your boss pass through here last?
Sometime.
As a point of clarification, the spell will last for 10 minutes.
Up till 10 minutes, yes.
And then after that, it automatically ends.
Pretty much. And you can ask up to 5 questions.
And I believe I've already asked 4.
Yes.
I'm going to start rifling through his pockets.
Cool. So you'll just let the spell degrade once it's over?
That is the current process. I'm going to roll it and then see if I find anything of interest.
No roll necessary. There's nothing. These guys aren't carrying anything on them. These seem to be
Oh,
lower
man.
level grunts.
They don't even have any Werthers on them.
So I found nothing. Can I stab one just in the forehead?
Yeah, you stab a dead corpse. I hope you feel good about yourself.
You see the color dissipate from her face a little bit. Like
Okay, good
it's
to know.
almost soothing.
I will say you guys were doing your searches and everything while Moma was doing the ritual.
At the
In
end, I
fact-
will...
Oh, go ahead.
The last question I will ask is... What's at the bottom of the stairs? And I point to the staircase going down.
No reaction to you pointing, because it only hears the words.
Oh, so I would add the going down from here.
Yeah, what's at the bottom of the stairs going down? The rockets. That's all he says. And then he fades.
Pawlina just sits there going, no one's explained what the heck a rocket is.
I'm going to...
Is it a thing that you rock back and forth with?
From-
That you take a nap in it?
From the explanations earlier, it's some sort of arcane device that'll help take this tower into the sky.
So I think it's like
Oh.
a horse, but actually made of magic. And it goes up.
This would be a
Like a
terrible
bird.
place. It would be a terrible place to nap in if those rockets go off. I was hoping it was like a rock.
No.
Rocket.
I kind of like this horse theory.
Yeah.
It would be nice. As a quick aside, I do take... I pull his, like, shirt back a bit.
Mhm.
I will tie his hands are tied behind his back and lay him face down.
Okay, so he's dead and you're gonna take a minute to tie him up?
The reason I'm doing this is, and I know this is a our Earth lore range, but Moma was raised on this kind of range. If you are buried with your hands tied face down, you are going to hell.
Yeah. Azaria will make sure this fucker's taken care of.
So then,
Which is
yeah.
again, this is a like insult to him at the very end of like, you aren't
Yeah.
gonna talk to me properly. I'll just...
So, what does during the 10 minutes of her casting the ritual, does anyone want to look about the room, go anywhere, just leave her behind, or what do y'all want to do?
I think Kovak is going to investigate there's sort of a desk in the center of the room, right?
There is a credenza and chair, so sort of like a
Yeah.
desk.
Point of clarification.
Yes.
We're not allowed to smash books. But am I allowed to break other things?
I mean, these are very finely appointed. This is a very finely appointed credenza and chair.
Kovak, if it is
Unremarkable, albeit finely made.
If it's locked, I can pop that open really easily.
It doesn't have any locked drawers to it. And then there's just there are all the books in the glass cabinets going around the outside.
Are they all of a particular genre or area of study or something? Or
They are not.
okay.
As you take the time to look through them, they are organized alphabetically. In fact, you find a gap where Candlekeep Deconstruction would fit perfectly. These books seem to be just varied and random almost. Make me an insight check.
Okay, so that's a 12 plus. Insight is +0, so 12.
12? With a 12, you're starting to get the sense that maybe there was an assumed reason why these books are picked, but like, why would they pick out a boring treatise on the best methods to convert cow manure into fertilizer? Or this one here, like the best way to eat a rice cake.
Hey, Dungeon Master, point of order.
Yes.
I have a passive insight of 15. Can I help?
In this situation, this was him looking at the books and kind of putting together. So if you were actively looking at the books, that would still be an active check.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, passive insight would you be to be passively notice that someone is concealing something or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's my 10 minutes. Honestly.
Yep. So at the end of the 14 minutes, because there was asking the questions and tying them up and flipping them over, or flipping them over and tying them up, that's where you're at. What do you guys want to do?
I guess my question is, what can we do?
You wanted to
You can
go
go
down,
up,
didn't you?
or you can go down.
I'm gonna go down.
I'm at the door.
All right.
Do you want me? Wait. Do you want me to scout first?
You can scout.
Sneaky.
You can scout as I'm walking with you, so that way you have a bodyguard.
Does it look dark down there?
It looks lit enough from what you can see.
Okay, I'm asking everyone, even you, Pawlina, I pat you on the head. Stay back away from me about 20 feet. And I'm going to go scout ahead.
You see at the top of the stairs, there's a small wooden pedal that looks like it opens and closes the door from the inside.
So I should do a stealth check and then maybe a perception check? If I'm scouting ahead?
First, go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Real quick, seeing as we are going to be heading down and I know that we're doing this, add a cattle drop to that.
Yeah. Okay.
You only want Pawlina to do a stealth check, right? Not all of us.
If she is going down without you, if you go with her, you have to make one.
Yeah, I'm going with her because that's
okay.
Oh my gosh.
Make me a stealth check.
I swear.
And it is not a group check; it is individual.
And it's also at disadvantage, just so you know.
Yeah, this is why I told you to stay back. Hey, Moma, do you want to grab her?
Just don't understand what scouting is.
I rolled a 17 and an 18. Thank you very much.
I am going to attempt to.
Wait, is this with straight roll or advantage?
Just one question. I thought you said this wasn't like silver, because that was a very silver thing to do.
Yeah, exactly.
What was silver thing to do?
Not
Somebody
letting the
says,
scout ahead.
Sneaky Sneak says, I'm going to scout ahead. And then the person who is not sneaky at all is like, oh,
Yeah.
God,
Yeah, here's how
It's
it
a
always goes down.
disadvantage, and I rolled.
Y'all wait
an-
right here. I'm gonna go scout ahead. Okay, cool. I'm coming with you. Clank, 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 clank.
I
Well, I
rolled
got a
just
dirty
fine.
20.
I got a
Dirty
19
20.
and a 19,
19.
at
Okay.
disadvantage. Thank you. I know what I'm doing.
As you go down these steps, fortunately, you remain
I'm very distracted by
quiet
her.
enough as this unlit stone staircase curves downward. The air grows warmer. And
Oh no, not
warmer.
again.
Welcome to Under the Barn Door. You pass a section and then you know,
Just as a reference to everyone's favorite
Mhm.
new D&D game, Behind the Barn Door. Do we see any ogres or bugbears making out?
you do not see any
Oh.
ogres or bugbears making out. What you do
Disappointing.
see, however,
Or hugging ethically.
what you do see, however, as you pass the stone wall, it gives way to an iron banister. And you look down at the bottom of the stairs, a 30-foot diameter room opens up directly underneath the barn door tower. 4 10-foot long metal cylinders protrude from the 20-foot high ceiling, glowing with intense heat and shedding bright embers that rain down onto the floor. 3 mechanical constructs resembling wolf-sized, dog-headed cockroaches march in a circle around the perimeter of the cylinders. So no, you do not see any ogres, but you do see robot cockroach dogs.
I think those are the birds.
And you see, do you try to continue on? You do not appear to have been noticed yet.
So they're circling around the cylinders.
Yeah, they're
But
basically, it looks like they're, make me an insight check.
Okay, because I'm assuming the cylinders are similar to the ones that I saw in the book.
Yes, these are the rockets. So basically, like the stairwell brought you down far enough. So now you're under the underfloor. So there was the tower. These cylinders hang down. And then, so they hang down 10 feet. And then it's another 10 feet to the floor.
Well, I got a 10
Aren't-
for insight.
Aren't you glad I
Okay.
went down there now this time?
Shush!
you wanna
You
get
get a
in on
paw.
that, yep.
You're gonna paw in your mouth. That cat. Shush, 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 shush. I don't know if any of our gentle watchers have seen that, but when cats just want you to stop talking, they just put a paw in your mouth.
Mm.
Shush.
Okay. So it just looks like they're kind of walking in a circle, maybe keeping watch, maybe prowling around. Do you wish to push further in the room? In fact, let me go ahead and drop your token down. So you are basically right there, and Hubble is right behind you.
Un momento, I have spells. Let me
Yes, you
remember
do.
what they are. Oh, wait, I can do a message.
Yep. So are you taking a quick second to look about the room a little more?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. The floor of the room is covered in scorch marks that grow darker and more intense closer to the center. 2 sections of wall have crumbled, one on the staircase and one opposite, where stone cornices, molding, and carved panels have collapsed to rubble. Near the foot of the stairs, an iron double door stands closed. Do you approach the door?
I look over at Hubble and say, that looks like the end of the campaign. Should we go up first?
What's a campaign? Can I at least?
You can certainly try.
I'm not gonna think like Silver.
Think
I don't-
like an anxious mess.
Oh yeah, we need to go back upstairs. I don't like it.
All right. So you step back up to the barn door, and you find yourself on the ground floor.
What did you find?
There's
Big scary
giant
door.
cockroaches around maybe a rocket, and then
Mhm.
there's a big scary door that's the end of the game, so we should go up, I think.
You
Just
saw
to double
4
check.
rockets. So it's like it's like the tower itself is the rocket that we would call it, and then the 4 rocket engines.
There's 4 rockets.
Mhm.
They want to split this tower into 4 different parts, which doesn't make any sense given the books in it. This is absolutely in character. I know that's not how it works, but this is how my cat.
I was about to be like, I mean, you rolled a 24 in Arcana earlier. I mean,
I don't have the brain cell right now.
okay,
It's
that
absolutely
makes
splitting.
sense. That is fair. That is fair.
It is splitting into 4 different parts. It doesn't make sense. We should probably just go upstairs and check to make sure there's nothing good to steal before this
Oh, the
whole thing just goes
birds.
up.
You saw the birds
Where
then.
the birds. Yeah, the cockroaches and the birds.
Well,
Oh, I want birds. You see a little bit of drool coming out of her mouth. A little bit of drool comes out of her mouth like a
We
bird.
should go down to the doors you saw. Then I think we should all go up. Rather than, I mean, I guess we could stay here, but that doesn't seem like it would really push anything forward.
Well, we need to go up.
Yes, that was, yes.
Yes. Go up, eat the birds, then go back down, go through the door.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going up.
All right. So you are headed upstairs. What I will go ahead and do is I will just clear the portion of the second floor that you can see. No need to move your tokens just yet. Yep. Okay. So as you step upstairs, the scents of salted meat and dried fruit fill this area. Bookcases built into the stone walls and fronted by wood and glass doors are stuffed full of rations. Huge windows seal off a pair of alcoves set into the tower walls, and an inward curving wall between the staircases has an iron door at its center. The ceiling is braced by 4 wooden pillars, between which are set 4 pairs of stocky wooden chairs facing inward. Each chair is bolted to the floor and fitted with 2 lengths of rope. 4 of the chairs have people in custodial uniforms tied to them. 2 half-orcs, a half-elf, and a dwarf. So you have stepped upstairs and you see looks to be more cultists.
You said tied up?
So basically they're using the ropes as sort of makeshift seat belts. They have tied themselves in. They can't really move as much, so they're sort of like 2 straps of rope holding themselves in. And they spot you.
Can I?
Oi, what are you doing here? Who went up first, I think, would be the good question.
I think Kovak was on the stairs, but would kind of take a half beat to just kind of glance back and be like, is Pawlina wanting to go first again?
Okay.
Or do you want me to go up
All right,
first?
so-
Hubble would be in the back because she's already anxious about seeing that door.
Okay. We'll assume Pawlina, did you go up first?
Probably, and I'll whoever wants to be right behind me.
I'll be right behind. Or
So
I'll
yeah,
take
let's
third
do
spot.
Pawlina, did you want to stealth up? I should have asked that. I
Of
apologize.
course. Yes, of course I would.
And I'll
Stealth
give you a
up?
nice
Yes,
little
very
back
nice.
pat as you start moving your way past me.
Oh, scratch it, scratch it, scratch it. Yeah, that thing get right there. Oh, yes. Oh, and she starts purring. Where's my dice? Put back your dice. There we go. Well, it's a good thing I've got so many points, because that's a 15 total. I rolled a 2.
Okay.
I have a plus
Let's see,
13 to stealth.
And also, don't forget your
Yeah, they
D4.
didn't.
Oh,
Yeah,
right. I'm
so
so sorry.
they're. Yeah.
Moma, you are made of gold and diamonds and platinum and all of the wonderful things. That would be a 4.
For a total
They
of
like me tonight. 15, 19.
19. They don't notice you as you get to the top of the stairs. You look in. You're basically kind of just standing there in the middle of the room, and they're too busy just chatting with each other. They seem to be super excited. We're almost there. We've almost helped achieve Stonky's dream. Yeah, well, what else did you expect? I hope they come up soon. I'm getting these ropes are chafing me, and they're just chit chatting. Oh, tell me what you
How
want. What you
far?
really, really want.
How far behind me are my companions at this point?
I don't know. How far are you guys?
2 feet.
Few feet? 10, 15?
Yeah, 10-ish.
And I'm a little bit
They're
behind.
within sight of you because you're at the stairway. They can see you. You just rolled stealth because you stepped farther into the room.
Well, since we're gonna get a surprise round, can I sneak
They are
attack one of them?
restrained and they are unarmed.
Oh,
Yeah, they're tied in. They
I
don't
don't.
have any gear with them or anything. I mean, you could pick them off.
I could. I don't have any compunctions against that, but I think Moma would, and I like Moma. So I'm just gonna kind of walk up right behind one of them and start whispering in their ear. Where you going, little kit?
What the fuck?
Do I hear you say that?
Looks around at the rest and clams up. They all notice you and they refuse to answer your questions.
As I walk up with the rest of the group, I will, holding my shield in one hand, sword over my shoulder, sword sheathed into its spot with my shield.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, y'all.
Hello.
Now, I understand you are probably not gonna properly listen to any of us right now, and that is your purview. That is your right. But I do want to give you one note of warning. Y'all are tied up. Y'all are unarmed. My little friend is a little bloodthirsty. My little
Claws come out.
kitty cat friend is willing to dismember you, and I'm willing to send you home, making you miss your little party. So if you do not answer any of these questions, you will miss your trip. And at least one of you will be notably left behind.
I start petting the one that she's referring to with claws out, Not enough to actually draw blood,
Okay.
but enough to hurt.
Am I
Moma,
picking up?
lovely lady, please give me an intimidation check with beautiful advantage.
I'm also going to
Yes,
reaction
of
myself.
course.
Additionally, because they are around wizardly ranges, they would know that that as a cleric, I am
Mhm.
referring to the banishment spell.
Of course.
DM, point of clarification.
Yes.
Is Hubble able to sense how intimidated and irritated and just sort of like feisty Mama's getting?
Uh, Depends on if Mama's trying to hide it. I mean, with your passive insight, probably not.
Okay.
So here is a moment where rules lawyer comes in against situational lawyer versus rules lawyer.
All right.
Charisma checks are one of the weirdest things
Yes.
in the system, because the
Mhm.
idea that speech, which I got a 13 on
Yes.
my roll for as a total, I got an 8 on the die. I have a +2 on my charisma, and
Yes.
I rolled a 3.
You have.
It is not trained, and I have a +2 in my.
Okay.
As
Here's
Fiacre
how
left into my
I. Yeah. Here's how I handle charisma rolls. The same. Two different people could say the exact same phrase in the exact same inflection in the exact same act. One of them is going to be worshipped. The other is going to be rejected. That's the idea behind charisma. It's not the ability to say the words. It's the force of it's the aura you put
Mhm.
off. And that's what the role accounts for. Is like, you said it just right. The reason you got to roll that low, and your passive insight will tell you this, is you did it perfectly. You scared the bejesus out of them. Half of them are pissing their pants, but they are more loyal to Stonky and this job than they will ever be afraid of any of you. Your passive insight gives you that. Like, short
All right.
of magical coercion, you ain't getting anything out of them.
Hold, please.
Yeah. I am so sorry, but like, even if you had rolled like super high.
Question.
Answer the daily double.
Do I know what Stonky looks like, or no?
No, you do not.
Bridge sickle. I have a spell for that. Okay, never mind.
Ah, I know what you're thinking of.
Well, I'm guessing that since none of you want to talk, and you're all kind of defenseless right now, and your allies just recently tried to attack us, you are imagining that we just walk away and let you kind of continue here, right? Like that's just to clarify, that's what you're imagining is going to happen next, right? Like that's what you are thinking.
You know, you're all willing to die for Stonky, yeah?
As everyone is talking, you see Hubble just get more and more anxious. I'm going to.
Do you
What?
want me to pet you? Do you want me to pet you?
No, I kind of want you to
Okay.
let this happen. I just messaged.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Just message me.
I'm going to. No. I messaged Guild to see if they remember what I'm wearing. How. So I'm gonna get in. So I'm at least like right there.
You're yeah, because this door here, let me ping it. This door is closed. You guys came up from the stairs here.
So I'm gonna stand like right here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to hit my armor.
Uh-huh.
And there's going to be and she's getting more and more red because she's just getting more and more frustrated and anxious that nothing's happening. I need each of those creatures in a 10-foot radius to make a DC Constitution saving throw.
What's the DC?
The DC is 15.
DC 15. Give me just a moment. I've got to pull up their stats here. Oh boy.
I helped you find that armor. I'm just trying to remember what it was.
It's my spores and fungal armor since it's a gnome.
If everyone else is upstairs, does that allow you to choose?
Yeah, I think so, because I'm going to position myself where that 10-foot radius is just like
I want to
around.
look at this because I am not familiar with the item you are using, and I want to make sure that I handle the wording properly. Inventory. Okay. The armor of fungal scores. While wearing this armor, you can take opponents which fill template. Each creature in that area. So if any of the other party are standing in the same room, they got to make the save as well.
That's fine.
Okay. And to get all of them, you would almost have to get like right here.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. So Kovak, Moma, and Pawlina, if any of you are standing in that circle, go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
Very much.
I mean, I'm petting one of them, so I'm assuming I'm in it.
So
Yep.
do I
And
have to roll then
cons-
too? No.
I think you are
Con
immune.
save.
Yeah,
I rolled a 17.
that passes.
Sounds good.
I get a +0.
So, failure, success. Okay. 2 of them succeed.
Okay.
Moma would have stayed back a little ways because when she sees the little one moving in closer, she knows to leave splash damage.
I
Yeah.
rolled a 5.
You failed. So you have or have the poisoned condition until the end of your next turn.
Must succeed or have the poison. So basically, they get really quickly poisoned, and then as they're all like, and then after about 6 seconds, it clears up.
Yep. Just to get the
Alright.
ball rolling.
To the stars, and then they all just start shouting out to the stars, just looking upwards.
I'm going to point at 2 different ones.
Okay. You want donkey
And-
biscuit, horse egg, duck bean, or goat beat?
I'm gonna point at Goat Beat and Duck Bean.
Okay, so that is the shield dwarf and one of the half orcs. Duck bean and goat beat.
First one that I'm pointing at, I'm betting an 8 doesn't get them. Wait, they're restrained. Does that mean that I get
You have advantage.
on range attacks as well?
Yes, you have attacks against them have advantage because they can't kind of get out of the way.
Okay, so that's a 21 to hit.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
And I'm guessing it's just regular damage roll.
Yes.
For 10.
He's dead.
Second one I will point at. I'm guessing a 11 doesn't hit.
You do have advantage.
So I rolled a 5 and a 4.
Yeah. Nope. It just misses.
Oh, is that
And
like,
you all know that I am a cleric.
I know
And
that.
this is the first time that I will have used this in all of our adventuring range.
Oh my.
And I just go, hush, you, and you see bolts of a, like, starry night. Like, as if, you know in the old cartoons where, like, if there's a plaid thing, they're walking along and the plaid stays the same as the character is walking?
Yes, the
Like, the background stays static while the object is moving?
yes, the texture is like behind the
Yeah.
behind the image.
That's what these bolts look like. Is there's a texture of the
So
like
the,
the night
texture
sky.
behind the mask effect stays solid, and it's real bad CG motion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which became a joke later on for things like plaid specifically.
Yep.
But yeah, you see that as two bolts of eldritch energy jump out of my hand.
We
One of them killing one of them.
Yep. One of them's dead, the other one dodges, and they all just stop chanting, look scared. They are still not gonna talk. Like your passive insight, they are I mean, let's be honest. They are evangelical in their obsession of following whoever this stonky guy is. They believe in his mission, and dying for it is an honor, and they will martyr themselves for it.
Okay, then I'm going to, and Kovak just like lops at the head of Donkey Biscuit.
All right, so you're just gonna try to behead him?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, cool. I'm not even gonna make you roll because, like, you guys just spend the next few seconds. Do you just want to eliminate them? Is that what you guys want to do?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, stops them.
At this
He's just
particular
like,
moment, it's
"Okay."
I don't
I
really want to
mean-
spend the spell slots on casting silence. So, you
Yeah,
already
so-
alerted someone one time. I'm not letting you alert them anymore.
All right, so over the next, like, not
I mean,
even a minute.
I was originally just gonna let them live and live with the fact that they aligned themselves with someone who is going to fail. But I mean, this works too.
They started chanting, and that means they're being loud. And this is technically still part of a library, and
It
we
was
are
pretty
quiet
empty.
in libraries.
Oh yeah, Moma, this is why I follow your lead on everything.
Also, as a note, Moma is now taking off her glasses, giving all of you the sights to be able to see her, like, starry black eyes, except for the irises that are frost blue. Like, the whole eyeball is that starry, like, bad CGI.
Yep. All right, so now you have some bleeding dead cultists tied to chairs, food supplies. There's a door to another room and stairs going up.
I say we check the door.
Kovak? Yeah, I was gonna
Okay.
say Kovak's gonna go over too.
The door is locked magically.
I
Can
look
I
to
smash it? No.
Make me an athletics check.
No. It's automatically succeeds.
Oh, okay. I have a spell for that.
So you have
think
a
this
plus
is
1
your
bonus to
business.
attack damage rolls you make with this magic weapon. If it hits an object, the hit is automatically a critical hit, and it can deal bludgeoning or slashing damage to the object, your choice. Further, damage from non-magical sources can't harm the weapon.
Okay.
Shatter Spike.
So the
Mhm.
well, the door is sealed with an arcane lock. So the door itself is magically sealed.
So even a shatter spell wouldn't open it?
I think it would. It's a shatter spell, essentially. It doesn't say anything about it
Okay.
not.
Tell you
Yeah.
what. Yeah, this is cool. I like this idea.
Cannonball?
Give me an attack roll.
Okay.
And depending on how well the roll is, we'll see if you dent it, bounce off, or smash it.
Okay. Even though it's an automatic crit.
I need the hit first because you're putting two magical things against each other.
Oh, okay. 11.
You manage to smash into it, but the arcane ward on it, and you bounce off.
Okay.
Like the door itself is behind this almost shield.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna poke around in pockets,
Yeah, there's nothing.
see if I
Nope.
find anything.
They were unarmed.
Kovak is gonna knock on the door.
Okay. You knock on the door. No response.
Anyone else?
No response.
Huh.
The door is locked, so the assumption is like whoever's room this in, they locked it and went somewhere else.
I didn't get an option for a knock spell.
Oh, yeah.
Or would have taken it.
By this point, all of you, I'm not even going to make you roll, you would be familiar with Arcane Lock as a spell because it's used on the Emerald Door. It's used on several doors throughout the Outer Wards. You're in a castle for wizards. Of course, they're going to use Arcane Lock instead of normal locks. Actually, because of that, it takes you a second, but then you remember Hubble. Oh, this is an Arcane Lock. And you adjust your grip on Shatter Spike. Give me another attack roll, please, with advantage.
Come
Because
on.
it's a good idea, and
Are you. Okay, wait. 9 plus 9 is 18.
and it strikes because you're like, oh, arcane locks, and you've gotten used to this rhythm and pattern, not because of the math or intelligence of it. Barbarians are classes of nature, this primal forces within them. And you've learned that some spells have that primal rhythm to them. And you've managed to match that breath. You've learned how to fight arcane locks by breathing just right. And you do an underhand and strike it in this weak spot of an arcane lock spell that is perfectly weak against your shatter spike. And the door flies off its hinges, and you gain access to
Kovak takes God and holds out their hand. Holds out his hand. Nice.
The high five?
Yeah.
Real
So,
nervous.
yes.
Just like she's only 3 feet tall.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he leans down really low. Low
And
five.
she'll real shakily trying to keep herself. Huh.
Yep. So
Yeah.
this circular chamber appears to be a private study with a large bay window. A fireplace along one wall is unlit and faced by two burgundy armchairs, one small, one large. Tall bookcases are built into the wall opposite the fireplace, their contents protected behind wood and glass doors. The theme for this place. A rolling ladder attached to a ceiling rail allows access to the highest shelves, especially because, as a gnome, you're expecting just Stonky to be very short. An oak table is bolted to the floor, flanked by two high chairs designed for shorter people and two chairs built for human-sized folk. Lying on the table is a small piece of paper. What do you do?
I go up and
scatter
take a
over
look
and
at
look
it.
at the paper.
All right, the two of you rush over, look at the paper. Written on it is a task list.
Is that what list?
Is a task list. Up at the
Oh,
top.
okay.
7 steps to success. And then crossed out are test rockets, exclamation mark. Separate barn door from foundation, exclamation mark. Set correct coordinates, exclamation mark. Set countdown timer for 60 minutes, exclamation mark.
Ooh.
And not crossed out is evacuate underlevel. Tie self to command chair and blast off. Anybody who wishes may make me an intelligence check, please.
Yep. Oh,
Intelligence and any bonuses?
Investigation, if you want to use that. Yeah, we can do
oh yeah.
investigation.
And can I reaction myself?
Yeah.
Actually,
We'll assume that you're always giving yourself a
Ooh.
pat on the ass.
well,
Okay.
actually, because we've worked together for a bit, I would know that someone else probably has a higher investigation than me.
Yes.
Who among you has higher than a 3? Your
I have
investigation
+3.
bonus.
Higher than a +3 to investigation.
Wait. Whoever has the best investigation, I have a spell for this. Since we have worked together before.
I have a +5.
All right, then I will give you my. I'll give you a nice, like, like a very specific scritching on at the scales, like just in the right way, right behind the head.
Kovak shivers like, oh. How do you do that?
I'm a
It's
Moma.
magic.
Is what I
don't
do.
know.
I have yet to get scritches.
Oh, they're glorious
Or at
when you
least
get them.
this session. It's happened in your past and among the.
I know.
But
I'm saying in character, I kind of miss how soothing it was. That's all.
and she'll
I don't
lean
like
over and just
asking.
give you a pat on the head.
Thank you.
I rolled
All
a
right, so
26.
26.
Holy shit.
Then
I
I
did okay.
am going to give you everything. And you start quaking in your boots because as you go back, test rockets. That was the earthquake. Separate barn door from foundation, set correct coordinates. You don't have context for those yet, but you're assuming those happened. And set a countdown timer for 60 minutes. You don't know how long after that earthquake the timer was set, but you have to assume that it was very near to it. And
So
you
how
put
long after
together
the
the
earth-
time you've spent, and it's been just about 30 minutes.
So I think we need to go back downstairs now.
Yep.
Every time you guys, maybe not, because evacuate underlevel, tie self to command chair. With that 26, the command chair is probably not down in the underlevel. It's probably up top. Maybe there's a control surface up top. This
I say we go
entire
up.
time, as you guys have been taking actions, I have been tracking your time spent.
Friends.
I say we
Time
go
is-
up.
Taking
Oh,
ritual time to cast a ritual spell.
Time is a secret.
We head up.
We must find a way up.
All right. We'll make this real quick. I am a kind and generous. So you real quickly, you realize that and you rush upstairs. And let me go ahead and reveal the top floor. Oh, those aren't there.
I think this time Kovak is not going to wait and sort of be wanting to tiptoe,
yeah.
but is going to.
Yeah. So you rush upstairs. The top level of the barn door is an observatory with 3 wide windowed alcoves. The chamber houses a large telescope mounted on a revolving dais. A small chair is bolted to the dais under the telescope with an iron lever jutting up from the floor next to it, topped by a perfectly round ruby. A small wooden steering wheel is attached to the chair, is adorned with glowing numerals at its copper-plated center. 3 larger chairs along one wall have likewise been bolted to the floor, all facing the telescope. 2 lengths of rope are fastened to each chair, including the one on the dais. Chains and wheels attached to the tower's conical metal roof suggest that the strong, tightly fitting panels can be retracted, enabling the telescope's user to peer into the starry heavens on a clear night. What would you like to look at first?
My friends,
Is there no one up
let's
here?
not touch the lever.
There is no one up here. You see the chairs empty, They are still down in the underlevel. You got here first. There's a chair with steering
I'm
wheel
gonna
and a lever. There's a telescope on a rotating dais.
Can I go sit in the chair? I want to sit in the chair.
Please
I
don't
think
touch
that
the...
point of order, little cat,
Okay.
we'll be able to get to sitting in
Eek.
fancy chairs in a moment. We need to figure out how to make it so this thing isn't going up.
Okay. Make me an investigation check, please. Because I'm assuming you all are going to be scouring around the equipment, at least looking it over first.
Yes.
Can I first give guidance and then assist?
Yes, you may.
Okay.
Actually, you don't have to roll investigation because your passive investigation catches something.
Ah.
Good.
As you glance at the lever, you notice a tiny, nearly invisible glyph of warding. Somebody did not want this lever moved. The lever has 3 positions: coop, shed, and stable. It is currently unstable.
So,
I'm gonna do a thing.
Did
Okay,
you just say you're just
so-
going to switch it to coop?
no, that was Kovak saying that the birds belong in the coop, and thus, like the rockets are the birds, and the coop, they must be related to the rockets.
There's the glyph of warding. You don't know what it does on the lever. There's the steering wheel with glowing arcane glyphs and the telescope. Who does what, when, where, why, how?
I would like to... Looking over my spells, I set them up very stupidly. Because it's been like...
I'll allow you to assume that you would, because you've been adventuring for a while.
Yeah. I'm going to...
As long as you haven't already cast it today, I'll
yeah,
say...
I have not cast either of these spells.
Yeah, if you want to ditch them and take something else.
I'm going to... I'm going to upcast to a... No, I'll just use a... I'll use a 3rd level spell.
Okay.
Out of curiosity, if I upcast to a spell that is of the same level that I'm already going up against, potentially, does that still negate it for things
I'm
like...
assuming this is Dispel Magic?
Yes.
Glyph of Warding is 3rd level.
So is Dispel
You
Magic.
do not need to upcast. You do not need... If it's 3rd level or below, Dispel Magic just gets rid of it.
I'll use a 3rd level spot, and...
You reach over, and the lever is free. Let me check something here. Oh, good.
So with my passive investigation, would I be able to notice which... Would I be able to guess which way it should be to...
The passive investigation spotted the glyph of warding, and you vanished that. I would say with a 19, you can tell that it is set where someone wants it to be.
Mhm.
So either of the other positions.
Would my passive perception be able to show me where, as I was looking at it, like, as I was getting closer to it, where it has probably sat for a while?
Ah,
I like this. I like this a
yeah.
fucking lot.
That's awesome.
Oh, This is inspired.
Because it's probably been
You
sitting in the
notice-
do not launch position for a while. And as I'm walking up, it would be possibly a passive thing of like, it's been this way for a hot minute.
Jesse, back it up. No.
With that, I just rolled to see what kind of wear patterns may appear,
Jesse.
just a luck roll.
Down.
There don't seem to be any obvious or clear wear signals. With your passive investigation, you do get the sense
you.
that someone put it there and put the glyph to make sure no one moved it. So
Uh-uh.
you know where it is
Down.
blast off.
Jesse.
You just don't know what the other two positions do.
Wait, so this is it's actually setting to go.
Stable is go. From what you can put together.
I think that Coop is probably the one that makes it activate. That's
Fling,
my money.
could you repeat what the positions are again?
There is coop, there is shed, and there is stable. It is currently set to stable.
I am going to move it down one position.
To shed. Okay.
Chickens don't fly very high, do they?
As
Should we
you
bring it?
grab it and shift it, you feel the latent magic left over from the glyph of warding that you had deactivated. A little bit tingly. Feels like if it had fully gone off, there might have been lightning filling this room. But you shift it to shed. Something is very interesting with your passive perception. Oftentimes, you're having to block things out because there's just so much going on in the world. You got to constantly filter it. And you feel something release. Like you feel a pressure release, and you realize, I'm not having to filter something anymore. And you go back and you think about it, and you realize deep in the mechanisms of the system, a very, very quiet, subtle sound was a constant clicking. Very rare, very uncommon. And then it stops. With your passive perception, you may not have stopped the launch, but you think you paused it. Now, maybe they noticed, or maybe they didn't. On that steering wheel, there is a number reading 646. It's steering in a direction. You don't know what that means. But we'll have to. But the question is, what's going to happen next? I guess we'll just have to find that out next time. Because that's where we'll have to leave off this story this evening. I have to close this tavern before bedtime, and somebody is trying to cast sleep on me. Don't forget, we'll be back here next week, the first Tuesday of the month, as the keys are returned to the proprietor of this tavern, and we are returned to the lands of Hordun to see what kind of trouble Chaos Cord can get up to next. But as for now, the taps have run dry, the stoves have gone cold. This temporary keeper is sleepy, for the night here has grown quite old. It has been a tremendous honor serving you as your storyteller tonight in this space. So as we say goodnight to you, be well and roll safe. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you for watching this special episode from the Black Barrel Tavern. You can catch our usual story every first and third Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Central Time over on twitch.tv/BlackBarrelTavern. Until next time, be well and roll safe.